We are going to sip and smoke today, but we're also going to discuss some things. Maybe, maybe people aren't out better. If you made it this far, you're all about better. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Need more subscriptions. Anybody that comes in, I'd appreciate a subscription. It is ironically not as cold today. I don't know what the temperature. It's probably a little warmer today, but I had my hat off in here for a moment, and my head got cold really fast. So it's still pretty chilly. Let me make sure that I'm mobile data. Yeah, that mobile data works better out here. And there we go. We are indeed live. All right, sweet. Yeah, I'm coming in. Looking a little dark. Right, we're looking a little dark here, but that's okay. But welcome, bow betters. Yeah, somebody's in the chat. Please like it up. We are going to smoke cigar. We're smoking the AVO'S Heritage, which is a premium cigar. I didn't look at what the price point was, but since we're going to have a semi-serious discussion, I was like, you know what? We need a bigger cigar, something that's going to last, and that is a little bit better in terms of quality. So we're gonna smoke that, right? We're gonna smoke that. Whoa, let me do this. Interesting. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Does that go up? No, it doesn't. This will. All right, there we go. And then we'll lean it down. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, that'll do. Yeah, wanted to show you people, like, in terms of carry, right? Like, I'm not printing anything here, I don't think, where something's there. But, like, lately I've been carrying, like, mag pouches. Like, they look like tools. You can't see what's in them, right? But you couldn't tell. Like, you can a little bit. They print a little bit, right? But not with this jacket, right? This jacket, you can't tell shit. I go walk like this, and you don't even know that I'm, like, got 2 full mags and a potential, what's that little thing? And a little something there. So, just so the guys are talking about, like, concealed carry. And these aren't, like, the best pants, or these are good military type pants. They're pretty obvious, like, okay, you look like a worker, but you also look tactical. These cargo pants, they're really good because they're thick, they're durable, and they have a ton of pockets, and they have, like, a button pocket in the back, which is good. It has this relief, did it have a relief pocket? Yeah, an inside pocket, and then the coin pocket, but they're not bad. Again, they do scream, hey, I may have a gun. I'm a tactical guy, right? So they do scream of that, but let's see here. Yeah, let me get myself in the whole Chicago thing in here. Right? Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, what do I got? Oh, I got my lighter there. I got gloves. Let me put my gloves out. And I got the gloves, and the gloves I don't need for now. My hands are pretty warm. Watch check. This nice Casio. This was $9.99 Casio. This is the Casio I use when I go swimming, when I go on hikes, and I do other things that I don't need to worry about, or even when I'm surfing. If this thing gets destroyed or lost, it isn't going to get destroyed or destroyed. This thing is so durable. I've used it in the water. I've used it in hikes. You could actually go into a steam room or a sauna with this thing. This is as solid as the watches I might have. It might be better than the G-Shock that I have. It might not. The G-Shocks are fantastic watches. This is, again, it's a Casio, so it comes from a similar, family, right? From the Casio family. $9. The only regret I had is that I thought that it had lume. So there's no lume, but there is this movable dial that has no tactile nature to it, right? So there's no lume to it, but fantastic watch for $9. $9. All watches do the same thing. They'll tell time. Doesn't matter how much they cost. It could be like $50,000 or $9. It tells the same thing. And I'll tell you what, if I knock you across the face with this plastic one, it might be more durable than a Rolex. It might actually be. The Rolex you might break. The bracelet might break. The sapphire crystal won't break, but the bracelet might break. The bracelet is not going to break on this thing. This plastic thing, you could use this as a clamp to hold 2 ropes together or 2 things together if you really needed to, right? I wouldn't necessarily trust it, but let's put it to a little test. It's $10. Let's put it to a little stress test. Ooh, no, it'll break. It'll break for sure. the band will break. It's just a weak rubber band that it will break. But for something light, like if you needed to hook this up or create this to make a hook for something, if it's light like a towel or something light when you're out there in the boonies, yeah, it could work that way. I don't know why you would use it that way, but it can. All right, we're going to light up the smoke right away. Let people come on in, which there rarely are. There are rarely any people coming on in. We are continuing to go live. This is like I think this is a record for me. I don't think this is a personal record. I don't think that I've gone live for 3 days straight ever. So that's a good thing. Maybe the algorithm, YouTube, blesses me and allows me to, we'll use that. Let's do that. I don't like doing this, but why not? In the winter time, then I know where we're at. Oh man, yeah. I don't know if I need the other hood thing right now. This cigar that we're gonna smoke, the AVO Heritage. AVO Heritage. I bet this is like a 10. This is a nice Ecuadorian wrapper. I've had some of the other AVOs. I don't know if I had this one before. I don't think so. I had the number 6 before, and there was another AVO, and I wanted to try these because a lot of the AVOs, man, they're actually like really underrated. This is a Dominican cigar. AVOs used to be, or this, AVOs, AVO used to be. Were they always Dominican? I always thought that they had like Chow cigars that also were Brazilian. But this is a Ecuadorian wrapper with Dominican fillers and Dominican binder. I had to look it up because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know that it was actually called the Heritage, that was actually one of the subsets or one of the blends of AVO, right? So I didn't know what I had, right? So I wanted to just confirm it that I didn't have it already smoked, already didn't do a review on it. And since this is a larger gauge, I brought out the guillotine, right? So we're going to smoke this thing. I brought the guillotine cutter, which is going to give us a straight cut. And you see the cap on there. We're just going to cut that little cap. You see that little seam? That's all we're going to need to cut off. And the other reason why I chose this cigar is like I was looking for cigars, and this one already had a little bit of plume on it. Plume is this like little positive, almost like, do I dare call it bacteria? Or it's not mold per se, but it's plume, where it's just like little white powder that it had. And it was one in the cigars. And I don't know why this one had plume more than the other cigars, but that's okay. That's neither here nor there. Let me see what's going on. My glasses are dirty as hell, even though I didn't, I'm not going to clean them right now with this sweater. I guess I could clean them with this sweater, but I'm worried about what the dirt is that's on there. That's why I'd like using some kind of, I just made it worse. I just made it worse. I don't know what I had on here. I'm going to have to go inside and clean these. I'm going to have to go inside and clean these. At some point, I'm going to have to spray something because I can pick up with this light. I pick up all the dots, and it's a little distracting. A little bit like life can be, right? You think life is clear, but then there's little dots and little things that might not necessarily blur your vision, but affect your vision, right? And I think we've all had those moments in life that we, some people probably live that way altogether, right? That's something of a barrier or something that is there that some people might be able to mitigate, right? So, the topic at hand, I guess I had the topic at hand. We're thinking about it because I don't really do a lot of self-reflection per se. And I wish I did more. It's for me, I'm one of those people, like, I don't look at myself in the mirror, right? If I do, the only time when I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm just making sure that my shirt's okay, that my pants are tucked in all right, that the colors match. That's all really I'm doing. I'm not looking at my hair. I'm not looking at my skin. I'm not talking to myself or giving myself any form of self-reflection. When I look in the mirror, I can't tell you the last time I looked in the mirror and started crying or felt some other certain way that I wasn't doing anything like grabbing a zit from my nose or looking at something, that I wasn't looking in the mirror for just a function. I just, I have been self-reflective to a lot, but it's short-lived, right? And a lot of that could have to do with my self-medication, right? Always using something to self-medicate and ignoring or just focusing on other things. And I've always been sort of in the now focus and future focus, but more in the now, where I've excused myself from a lot of my self-reflection. And a lot of that is part narcissism, right? I was reflecting today of how narcissistic I am, and I understand why to an extent, right? And a lot of that can be, yeah, there's nobody in the chat, right? So, but yeah, we're only taking off that little bit, like this little bit. It's tough to see, like that little slice right there. Is that okay? Yeah, that little slice. You see it? Gone. Perfect. Look at that little cap. It's all we're taking off. It's all we need. Not a big cut. It's not too hard. It's not too hard. Can you see it? You can barely see the cap. It fell off. You test the draw? Nice. Got some matches back up just in case the lighter goes out. So again, this is the AVO. I'm just gonna put my cutter back in my pocket. And I think before I smoke this, I am indeed going to light up or put on my other little thing for my head. But yeah, going with the topic, we'll see if people actually delay. No one's joining the stream. And I know that it is a difficult thing to discuss, but I guess I was thinking more a lot that there's so many on YouTube. There are all these people that have these and I'm not qualified either. I mean, yes, I have been a social worker. I'm a little bit older. I've been through a lot of jobs, been through a lot of stuff, which again goes back to why I'm as cocky or as narcissistic as I am, is because I have a lot of personal self-accomplishments. I have other social self-accomplishments and other real world life experiences that have helped me have a level of confidence that other people just don't have, even if they're successful and they have they're a certain stature socially, more so than I am, more successful than I am, more physically capable than I am, but I still have a certain level of confidence because of my own self capabilities, as well as an assurance that I haven't, I've done some wrong. Yeah. When I'm not in the right state of mind, things have happened. Right. I haven't been devoid of sin. Right. I've not been devoid of bad acts, but for the most part, been okay. Let me try this thing here. Let me move this thing and use the inside of. I don't like cleaning the glasses this way. I prefer a liquid, and then the cleaner I have for my lenses, and I've been using the Vice, they have the Leica one. I had the Leica one, but I've been using a different one, and you never know what's on your glasses. If there's something, there's something there. Man, yeah, I gotta get the cleaner. Because I think what this is some coffee that I had earlier. So I'm gonna go in a moment here. When I go back in, if I have a moment, yeah, it's that coffee. I spilled some coffee earlier and it fucking exploded. It exploded everywhere. Yeah, it's that coffee. And it's got me paranoid. I could see the brownness of it. And I'm hoping it's not eating at the coating. But yeah, just like we're cleaning our lenses, from time to time we have to clean what it is in our lives that can help us, be happier, right? And I think narcissism, of course, is a little bit self-deception, right? And I think we have success, and greed can be part of that as well, right? When we have a level of success and greed, and you see a lot of people that are very successful, especially with their children, that end up very depressed, right? And depression is natural. That's the other thing depression is part of our survival instinct, right? You think that, imagine living, a few hundred years ago, 500-600 years ago, in Europe or even in Africa or in the Aztec society. Life was harsh. Like it was not easy. We just don't have a clue. And it wasn't that long ago, right? It wasn't that long ago that we lived in even harsher sense. Think of like the Wild West. Let me get my cigar going. And I didn't have anything written down on this, on my discussion here. But I guess, yeah, it's then because there's a lot of people online that are giving like this self-help advice. And it's all crap. You know, you're getting self-help advice from people that were in prison, from military people, right? Like that stuff isn't applicable. Their lives are not applicable to you. Their challenges, their faults, their successes aren't, I don't think are applicable to you. If you were not in their situation, they could speak to and help, I think, other prisoners and people that, or other military people that are suffering from PTSD. But we look towards, I think we look towards the wrong place to find answers for our sanity and for what we should be doing in life. And that's why some of these grifters and these people on YouTube and outside of it too, are able to take advantage of those that are looking for solutions with another person, right? They've probably tried everything on their own already, including myself. I'm in that, right? I mean, I've been self-medicating and self-healing for some time, and it's hard to say whether I'm being successful at it or not. I'm going to say possibly no in one sense, but it's successful in other senses, right? There's nobody in the chat. Let me see if there's anybody in the chat. Why isn't the chat over here? Why can't I see the chat? Whoa, this lighter gets hot. Okay, open panel. Yeah, I never had to do that before. That's a little weird. Yeah, and I know it, you know, like that's why I'm just surprised at like how many people follow. And there's so many of these self-help and physical channels, you know, of working out, of how to become successful, et cetera, et cetera. And I'm just going to say that even though we're in a society, maybe just because I've always been somewhat rebellious and antisocial, that stuff just doesn't work for me, right? And I would say that it doesn't work for a lot of other people. A lot of those people that are successful because they're taking money from you, right? Like, what is it? They claim that they want to help people, but they don't. If they were, why aren't they donating most of their time and money to help homeless people? Why are they not constantly volunteering at a hospital, right? Why aren't they, you know, at a school? Look at this, already lit, people. Don't even have to touch it. Don't have to draw where, ooh, we already know it's lit. Very light. Very light. If you are in my stream, if you could just like the stream, hit the like button. I prefer actually if you do subscribe as well. Just subscribe and take off. Hit the subscribe button, take off. If you don't mind, I'd really appreciate it. Satisfy my narcissism, my ego. My ego. It's not my ego. It's actually my humility, in that I'm asking and begging people, please, begging you, subscribe. It's not my ego at all. In fact, it's my humility that I need help. I need people to subscribe so that we can have better discussions. I could get better into the algorithm and talk to more people, because you know the new rat race is on YouTube, right? Not just the success on YouTube, but what we get out of YouTube and social media is as important as what we're doing, if not more important than what it is in the real world. You know, the virtual world finally is the simulacra of life. It's become the real simulacra of life, where the simulation is actually more important now, or has more value than the real world. You know, like that's why fact is now able to become fiction, and now the virtual world is the real world, or more important, has more value than the real world. That's why AI is a genuine threat. Yeah, we're going to create a technology to supplicate or enhance the virtual world where where we are in control of it now, but the virtual world is going to eventually be intelligent to dominate itself and thus dominate us. Right? That's why that one movie with Joaquin Phoenix where he falls in love with a virtual woman, which people do now by getting catfished. Like if you're getting catfished, that's exactly what it is. Yes, there's a real person on the other end, but you create a virtual representation of what your relationship might be with somebody, and you generate an emotional connection, a genuine emotional connection of something that's a fiction, right? And again, that's not really what we're coming and discussing here, because, and it is to an extent, right? Because the virtual world, it is fulfilling, but it is fulfilling, but it's hard to say that it's not as fulfilling as in the real world, because it's almost become more fulfilling than the real world. It's hard to get notes on this. It seems really light. It's finishing a little cedarish, and it has a little pepper right now, but that's going to change. It had the plume, so it should be ready to smoke. It could be the cold. The start of the cigar, the first note is really soft, and I can't get to it yet. I can't like pinpoint it yet, but the finish is more cedar with that tiny bit of pepper, and I think that's just from the start of the cigar. It's some cigars aren't going to give you that initial flavor, right? Like you just bust it out. It's not like a liquor. Like a cigar is not like a soda or something that's defined. Like how a Pepsi's going to taste every single time. Even a wine, you don't know how it's going to taste initially. And you don't know the same bottle of wine, same brand of wine is going to taste the same as the next bottle that you might taste. Can you guys see the smoke, the vapor on the tea? Reading the tea leaves, all these cliches of all these people that are self-help, of reading the tea leaves, reading the room. Is your cup learning to live life where your life is the cup is half full, half empty? Or they even have to empty out the cup to start over, right? All these fucking things, all these things that people mention, and people have gone to self-help and to therapy. And I'm not against therapy. I'm not against church. These are things that definitely, or against a 12-step or these groups to get assistance. I'm not against that at all. I don't think, I think too much self-validation or in that narcissism is bad. Right. And I think that I might suffer a little bit too much from my egoism. My narcissism has prevented me from other successes. A lot of it has been my addictions, right? Other things in my life that, messed up my interpersonal relationships as well as my professional relationships. That's obvious, right? And then also fed into my rebelliousness, where I really didn't give a damn, right? Because if you are comfortable in yourself, even if it's a self-deceptive self, and you don't respect society's norms, and you're like, okay, I'm going to tap out, right? You once you're not part of the rules, right? You're somewhat hurting yourself, right? As long as you can live with it, which I can do, right? Again, I'm not a self-help professional. I'm not successful emotionally I'm not successful in my great life or as successful as I want to be. Definitely not successful professionally, even though I've had a ton of jobs. I'm not financially secure at all. I'm not doing well in those senses. But I would say that my level of anxiety, even maybe externally, internally, I have to have a certain measure of anxiety, or I wouldn't be self-medicating for the years that I have had. Right? There is something there that I'm still going to have to learn and pick up on. But I think social media is magnifying a lot of the things that that I'm put in my description on, or at least the header of hurting mental health. I think it's feeding into anxiety. I think it's feeding into anxiety. I think it's feeding into depression, right? But in the other sense, I think that it also had on the positive, it could help people in terms of goals and education and learning things, right? And I've always been very pro internet about that. And in fact, that's the best thing about YouTube, in my opinion. The best thing about YouTube isn't that you go and picks and you're listening to people live. You want to repair your laundry machine? Go on. I repaired my laundry machine through YouTube. Repaired my Ford Ranger, my truck. Oh shit, something's wrong with my Ranger. How do I take this off? Do this? Fucking YouTube. Oh, your weapons? Oh shit, man, my fucking shotgun's jammed. It's fully loaded. And what the fuck? How do I get these? What do I have to do to get the fucking shells out safely? Because the safety's off and the fucking, this thing, if I pull the trigger, it could fucking fire. This is what I did. Went online, fucking found it right away. Did it, right? Same with how to use like the program that I use to Canva, right? But Canva was pretty intuitive, but OBS software, my GoPro, how to use GoPro, went online, learned all that shit. Learned all of that online. And to this day, still do. Anything you need to learn how to, for the most part, that is practical, how to fix something, how to build something. You want to build a porch or a deck, go online. You want to learn how to paint better, go online. You want to learn how to set an electrical change an outlet, go online. All on YouTube, here on YouTube. It's the best part of YouTube. It's like the actual knowledge base, and also even on a personal level, right? That if you want to connect and communicate with people that are involved in something that you're interested in, social media is a great way to do that, right? And in fact, that's the way most people are doing it now. Like if you're not on social media, you don't know when those people are going to meet up at a shop or at a park to do something. You're not going to be part of that community unless you're on social media, which I think sucks, but that's just the way it is. Before they used to meet up they used to use the newspaper, Craigslist, they used other parts of the internet to do things like that. There we go. Here we go. I wonder if also it's been harder for me to gauge my palate because I just smoked another cigar yesterday, another cigar the other day, right? And this smoke's very similar to them. Although right out the gate, this has a little bit of almond sort of start. Like I like that nut note. Nice smooth finish, big draw, nice. Yeah, and I think what I see a lot on the internet is a lot of anxiety. Like even the people that promote like self-help, like you look at like some of those red pill people, like you look at like Myron, some of these guys that from Fashion Fit, Wes Watson. You look at these alphas or these other males or these people that are like trying to help people. They need help themselves. They assume that their success is what gives them legitimacy to discuss and provide advice to other people, not necessarily become successful, become happy, because that's what they're trying to sell. They're not selling money. They're selling a vision of you being better and happy with yourself. And they're assuming that happiness is financial happiness, right? What's wrong with your cigar? That's interesting. Sometimes that happens. It's rare. That would be a rare occurrence for me. That is rare. I wonder if the cigar has a plug. Sometimes the way they roll it, it's rolled a little uneven, such that it or too tight. It restricts the airflow. I mean, that's the first time I've relit a cigar like that in years. Well, I have a bigger cigar. This one's going to last a long time. Gay hack lab thinks I'm gay, or says gay. You know, what's wrong with being gay? What is it you people with against gay people, right? Like, what is it? You know, most people that are homophobic, in my opinion, have a lot of gay tendencies. They think about gay stuff more than most people. I don't think gay people think about gayness as much as like people that are homophobic, because for them, being gay is natural. For them, it's normal. Being gay is in their natural mindset. They don't have to discuss it. People that are like, oh, you're gay or that's gay, like that have that fear in their head, that homophobia is an insecurity, right? It's an insecurity about oneself, not just one's sexuality, oneself, that you're focused on others in a negative way, right? You're making yourself feel good in some way by attacking somebody's natural state, right? It's the same for racism and other things. So it's and I wouldn't say it's stupidity. It's just self-deception. It's projection. Maybe most of those people like that are constantly focused on gay people, on others, the other, and it's in all senses. You're focused on the other in competition at work. You're focused on the other. That guy has a better car than me. That guy's lawn is better than me. Oh shit, that kid's bikes are better than my kid's bikes. Oh, my neighbor they go to a better school. Oh, he's got a better job than I have, right? He says, I don't miss a single Diddy party. You know, I used to party like that. I used to party with rappers and stuff like that. I've been to like rap parties and big parties, and I've seen stuff going on. I didn't see any gay stuff, but I've definitely seen stuff going on. At those big parties, there is sex. Let's just be home, but it's mainly consensual. But people are high and drunk as hell, right? And if you find yourself in there and you wake up the next morning and you're like, man, something happened to me, that's on you. That's your responsibility. You're the one that took those drugs. You're the one that took that alcohol. You have to take that self-responsibility, right? That you were at this party. And Israel, you were not invited to the back room. Yeah, well, Israel, I wasn't in the back room, but I was at those parties, right? I was at big parties and yeah, no, I wasn't. Thank God I wasn't invited to the back room, and I didn't go inside to the bedrooms in these parties at all. I was stuck outside the pool. I'm smoking a cigar. I'm smoking weed. I'm hanging out outside. I'm chilling. I'm drinking, and I never stuck around that long because a lot of times they get you out of there before it goes too late. So who knows, what's going on late night at some of those big parties. But again, it's like it's your own responsibility. Right, you got yourself into that situation, just like myself in my life. Like we take self responsibility of certain things, and it's okay to judge yourself, but to have anxiety and to create depression based on what others think, it's there, but it shouldn't be there, right? Yeah, they would love me. What Diddy probably did was wrong, but I don't think so. Because there was that one kid from there were kids at the time, or young men, that were part of the band, Diddy and the band. And I saw a short where he said one of the girls that was in that band, he would come downstairs to where they were sleeping, or his assistant would. And then like the assistant would say, hey, Diddy wants to see you. And the girl would go up there on her own volition. Like it's late night, 2 a.m. Somebody comes into her bedroom and says, Diddy wants to see you. She didn't have to go. Right? She could have just said no, but she did wanted to go. And the guy said that she was happy going. He didn't talk to her, but she never complained about being raped or assaulted till 20 years later. Right? So, why didn't you say something that night? Right? Why, even if power, why didn't you say something the next day, the next week, maybe 2 years later? You didn't say anything. And it's because you went willingly. You went willingly. No, I don't do the baby oil. I do the Lubriderm and I do some other lotions. I need to get some better lotion. My shit is dry. Again, this guy's projecting. My boy Hack Lab here is like, man, what is it that you're Hack Lab? I'm happy that you're trolling a little bit. I welcome you, Hack Lab. Please continue. I enjoy it. Hit the subscribe button so you could troll me and make fun of me more in the future. I'd appreciate that. Hit the subscribe button. But yeah. I mean, everybody, like, why is it that we're so obsessed with Diddy, with rape, assault? I know it happens. It's been happening for a long time. You don't think that rich, powerful people have been assaulting women and boys and men? And men. And men. And men. And, you don't think powerful people have been doing that for centuries? That's been going on for centuries. People of power have always been able to sexually abuse and physically abuse people under them for a long time, and it hasn't changed. Now it just isn't as obvious, but it is obvious. We all know it. You don't think people knew that Diddy was doing all that stuff years ago, having those parties with people? Nobody said anything because they were involved in it. They were tacitly or secondary, and they knew what was going on, and nobody said anything, right? And that's including the authorities, all of them. Trump, Elon Musk, you name it, politicians, people of power with money, Bill Gates, fucking the owner of Amazon, Warren Buffett, I bet has done some fucking shady shit too. I wouldn't doubt it. Priests, those reverends, our military guys. What are the fucking Russians doing to the fucking Ukrainians? Fucking one of the main things they're doing is raping the women. What do they do in Africa? They rape the women, then kill them. What did the fucking Hamas do to the Israeli women? One of the first things they do, it's a thing of power. One of the first things they do before they kill the person, they rape them and mutilate them. And it's a power thing. It's also a sickness. It's part, being psychotic, in my opinion, right? But there are a lot of people with psychosis out there. They've had nothing. They've never tasted power. They feel themselves as a victim of power, right? Oh, no, nobody's in here. Yeah, even Israel's gone. Mm, nice sweetness to it. Could be the ginger tea, but not a bad cigar at all. I think what people miss is they assume that financial and even spiritual success equal happiness. And they can to an extent, but it's all movement in time. Everything isn't just a straight line, right? Except time itself, or if it's splintered out. But one's life, it's again going back to self-reflection. It's that I do not reflect on my past very much at all. I don't know if that's a positive or negative. I think because I've had positives in my past life, in the past of my life, and I just haven't emphasized those enough. But I think those is what are the events and the experiences that give me that level of self-confidence that I have with myself, where I could stand amongst other people or men that have more success than I do and feel confident and capable, right? Like, because I had those successes, or because I've had, I should say, reflect on successes in the past as well as a lot of failures. And I still continue to have failures. Of late, my last job was good, where I think, I had the opportunity to travel and I was part of the rat race, but I was able to take some time, and I took the most vacations that I had in my whole career. When I was traveling homeless, and I was homeless in the sense that a lot of people are now, I laugh at that. Like, they have all these videos of these people that live in their trucks and their vans, and they got the fancy trucks and everything that I did as well. I did that shit 15, 20 years ago. In fact, 25 years, like a lifetime ago. Right. And it wasn't cool. It wasn't easy and it wasn't cool. You weren't able to make money off YouTube doing that shit, and people didn't like it. Like, if you showed up, you rolled up in your truck, even if you were a surfer, people didn't like you. Like, they didn't like what you were doing. Right. So, but that experience helped me a lot. And it also shaped my worldview to a large extent and provided me a wealth of interpersonal experiences, because I met a lot of cool people along the way of doing that, but also just experiences of traveling. And I wasn't sedentary. I wasn't stuck in some parking lot someplace or on some street someplace. I was in multiple parking lots, multiple streets in places, but I wasn't just relegated to living underneath the bridge, right? And at that time, I wasn't very depressed. In fact, people probably looking at me and it's like, how's this guy so happy he's fucking living in his truck? And people resented it. Now they probably still do. That's why people hate not necessarily homeless, but homeless people that travel like that. And that's also why they hate homeless people. I mean, people hate on homeless people because they want power over them. They want to demean them so that they can feel better. It's a lack of self-reflection. And a ton of anxiety when you look at others in that competitive sense, in that comparative sense, right? It's a again, a lack of self-reflection, a different type of lack of self-control. That's why we have Karens. Karens have no control, no self-control. And they lash out because they need it. They need to. They want to feel power over someone else, right? Because they have little power over themselves. And they have anxiety because they themselves haven't reflected enough to become part or content with oneself. And so they emphasize the negative aspects of society and their thoughts of their own mind and their mindset. And so they assume negative cultural values. They don't have positive cultural experience or a positive personal experience with themselves. What a difference. Great flavors, man. The bigger cigars are just smoked better. And look, we're 45 minutes in and we're still not done. We're at like basically still the start of the cigar. Well rolled because you see it's ashed really well. Very smooth. Excellent flavors. Goes well with the tea. The tea right now, I think, is dominating the flavors a little bit. And that's telling me is that, like, again, what you drink or what you're drinking with, that's why water's so good. Coffee, it enhances the flavor of the cigar, right? That's why I think water is the best because it just cleans the palate, like sparkling water. Clean, for me, it's the best because it doesn't accentuate the cigar. It actually lets the cigar be as it is, whereas teas and other libations, they complement it. They're going to be joining the flavor sets, right? So right now, this has that nice. Now there you go. So now this one has that pastoral finish that is refined. That green that is smooth. So it goes from that nice, almond to a very, very nice, smooth green pastoral character that's very, very smooth. It's not bitter. It doesn't taste unripe, right? It doesn't taste super green. It is refined. And that's why this one's been aged, had the plume, bigger cigar. And I learned that yesterday that El Fina was only a 3-year-old cigar. So the cigar I had yesterday was a 3-year-old Panatella. Still nobody in the chat for now. Hack Lab left, and Israel left too. Tough keeping even your friends in the chat, huh? And YouTube isn't doing me any favors. That's okay. And I keep mentioning it. It hurts the ego a little bit, but that's all right. That's okay. It hurts the ego a little bit because I'm still smoking a cigar, and what am I going to do? Listen to music, chill out? I guess I could, and I should. It's nice, like being able to do. One of the things that you is this relaxing for me to talk this way? I don't know. Almost in my back, I almost feel more anxiety. Like this is making me more anxious talking, about these topics than not, right? And that's why I like when I'm watching YouTube for a lot of things. I'm watching the pets. I'm trying to get away from the whole politics and not watching the politics anymore, especially at the current environment. And it is still cold. My hands, it's the hands. The rest of the body feels great. I'm bundled up, I'm layered, long underwear, decent pants, good socks, my boots on. But yeah, the hands, it's just tough to keep them warm. So yeah, it's not going to, I'm still going to be out here as long as I can. This cigar is almost going to be like almost a 2-hour cigar. It's burning like nice and slow. And I'm drawing it, I'm hitting it. I'm definitely smoking it. And, again, we're still at that first third. What a draw. Yeah, I love that pastoral finish that is smoother, right? And it has more oils out the gate. I wish it was even oilier, but hey, it is what it is. So somebody joined again. Midway Customs. What's up, Midway Customs? They already know who I am. It's Roberto, the Bout Better. I got Midway Customs. Hopefully Midway Customs is, what do you make custom, Midway Customs? That's another thing that helps in one's life, right? Like right now, for example, my nephew is a mechanic, like with the Zen of motorcycle maintenance. Remember that book, Zen of Motorcycle Maintenance? Like he loves fixing cars. Like he's happy doing it. He wants to talk about it. Like he's one of those people where he's made his work, his passion, and he enjoys it. He wants to do something else. He doesn't want to wrench forever. But, oh, it's Little Ray. Oh, well, I thought Little Ray, you were Lefty Ray, did something else. Just like Little Ray, Midway Customs, he's a cook. He likes cooking, I assume. That's why he went back to it. And he's good at it. You know, soon he'll do even more cooking. And a lot of chefs, being a chef's hard work, man. Hey, Ray, you've been watching The Bear? I watched only one episode because I don't have Hulu. And I like that show. I need to get Hulu. I need to see the rest of them. And also, did you see that movie, The Menu, on Netflix? That's a good movie because it talks about what we're talking about. Like, even though the chef has passion, he's still a piece of shit. And all the people that come to eat dinner at his the fancy dinner, they're all pieces of shit too, right? And they're all fucked up, including his sous chefs and the people that are cooking with him. They're all fucked up. Even though they're successful, they're all unhappy and fucked. They all have like these negative values. What's that? No. And that's like for anxiety. One of the best things that I do for my overcoming anxiety is the cigar smoking. For me, I feel like comfortable. And it's also part of my past where I feel just safe. I feel comfortable when I'm smoking a cigar. I have other hobbies. The hobbies is this. This is one of my hobbies. Making videos. That's one of my hobbies. I used to skateboard. That's a great hobby. Skateboarding, physical stuff like cycling, things where you could like establish like personal records and personal bests and personal objectives and small little goals, right? And that's what's great about skateboarding is like, okay, you're going to focus on one trick or one obstacle or accomplishing one thing and you work on it and then you get it. Like it's self-satisfying. It's so rewarding. Oh, he says he's all right going back to Call of Duty. Well, hopefully you have success in Call of Duty. Again, I don't think that the gaming is an escapism anymore because there is so much socializing going on in the gaming world. And another thing there is like where you get that when you level up or when you have accomplishments. You feel good. You're like, damn, I killed fucking 5 people. Or I don't know what he's saying. You killed, you had 5 kills in that, or you won the game, right? You feel good. It's like that's like me with online poker when I'm destroying everybody. I feel good. I'm like, oh yeah, I made a couple million fake chips, and you feel good. But going back to what I'm saying, like one of the keys to overcoming, and some people have the anxiety still when they're doing those things, but having a good physical and or logical hobby is, and I don't care if it's like you're going to a coloring book. There's nothing wrong, even at our age, of grabbing a coloring book and coloring or putting a model together. Like keeping your mind busy and you focused on something that is tangible to you and that you enjoy, right? So I think having a productive, fun hobby is the first key to eliminating depression, from eliminating anxiety, and overcoming depression and narcissism. Is having, not just a goal, but an activity that takes you out of not necessarily your norm, because you do make that activity your norm, but that complements your life in some way. And that's why artists, or some artists are very depressed, but let's see what else someone says. I'll get back to. Yeah, there are a couple things that I have, like why I don't do tons of self-reflection in the past is because when I do that, I realize how much time I've wasted doing nothing, right? It's not that I didn't accomplish things. It's just that I spent so much time literally doing nothing, listening to the radio, things that could be calming and good for people, right? But it's sort of like unproductive time, and that's okay, because I think that's what, like, that anxiety and the rat race, you know, of one's, oh, I have to be doing something, I constantly have to be accomplishing something. It contributes to that anxiety, depression, and it can hurt you as much as it can help you. Yes, it's great to be motivated. Yes, and goals are important. Motivation is important, right? Very important. But you know, again, that's why I just don't look in the past a lot, because I feel I could be drowned in my own negativity, in my own failures, right? If I start to look at those, and those begin to become emphasized more than other things, and I look at my failures too much, that I would fall into more, you know, into a deeper, stronger depression. Hmm. This cigar is more refined, has more deep, more accentuated notes, right? Accentuated flavors that are more defined. Smokes bigger, has more flavor, and is better than the little cigar I had yesterday. That's why I don't smoke those Panatellas too often. And today we got more time. Look at yesterday we had that Panatella. It was done at this point. We've been smoking the cigar an hour, and we're probably just done with our first third of the cigar. And look at how nice the cigar is rolled, and the quality. Look at the wrapper. That's a nice looking wrapper on this cigar. Beautiful, deep richness. Great little smoke. Great smoke. 8.5. No, or 8. It just doesn't have certain elements that I would look for and I want, but look at the construction. Fucking beautiful wrapper on there. I love the Ecuadorian tobacco. Very smooth. No bitterness now. Nothing sharp. Nothing super green. Nice oil there on the tongue. The other thing that, you know, the problem, not necessarily a problem. It can be a problem. Like, it seems like with the virtual world, and I said again, where the simulacra world has become more real than the real world, is because in the real world, we're losing our interpersonal connection. Like, people think you're weird if you start a conversation with a stranger, right? And strangers, you know, you start to say something, they're like uncomfortable, right? Like, it's, you know, people aren't the same anymore. Right? I don't see like tons of groups of people in the parks anymore. Right? I don't see the parks with kids anymore. Like, kids aren't playing together in parks in public anymore. Right? They might in their school, but they're not, you know, go next time you're in your area, go look at a park. Even in the summertime, it's going to be empty. You know, there might be 1 or 2 parents there. I remember even when I had my kid and I would go to the park, you know, at the time that I was going, sometimes if I went in the morning, because I had to go in the morning sometimes, because my kid needed to go out. We go in the morning, there'd be like 1 other parent there. You go in the afternoon, of course, there's more. But there just wouldn't be that happening anymore. You know, remember cafes? Again, I'm not in an area where they have tons of cafes. In the cafe by my house, there actually are people there. Like, I didn't see what they were doing. I would just be going to get a coffee, but there were people there. But I grew up in the era, remember, where there were cafes and people doing poetry. There was music. There was art. And that cafe, the real cafe, has been replaced by the virtual cafe. There aren't as many cafes. That type of life just doesn't exist anymore. Right? And even the club environment is different. Right? To an extent, I haven't been to a club in fucking decades, in a long time. I've been to bars, and some of the bars are social. And I think people that are going to bars, even though they're drinking, they're dying to socialize. They're there to be around others, right? And they may not seem that way. Someone might be sitting there at the bar by themselves. They do want to talk to somebody, They do want to engage with somebody. That's why they're there. And I think a lot of, if I have past regret in my life, is I always had friends and had a few friends, but didn't make, later in my life, didn't make enough connections to have a large group of friends. I think the more people that you have in your social sphere, the better in the real world. Virtually, okay. I think that's okay. It's still not going to provide the same sustenance as in the real world, though. Right? The real world, you could have somebody come over, bring over some beers, hang out, or not even beers, but you could cook out with them. You could discuss football, discuss, politics with them if you want to discuss that. Vent about your work, right? You could do that. Talk about what your vacation was or your future vacation plan is, right? And you just don't have to share it on Facebook. Like, we're not living to post things. When you have a large group of people that are part of a social circle, that your social circle, that you're able to live with in the real world, I think that's a lot healthier and helps to, and I don't have that. I think if anything, that's a fault of mine and should be a goal for the future, but I've been so self-reliant, so self-absorbed. And it goes back to the narcissism. I've been such a narcissist for so long that it's just a challenge for me to, not to necessarily open up, but I always feel like I don't need that. Even the same thing that I'm saying, almost like a doctor, do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, that strong wood is gone. It's gone. That cedar or that wood is not there as we finish the first third of the cigar. And look at how nice it's still ashing. It's leaning like a little pee-pee, little hanger, little drippy poo-poo, pee-pee. There went to ash. Yeah, this cigar might be like almost an hour and a half, 2 hour cigar, which is typical. And indoors it would have been even longer because you don't have to. It stays lit a little bit better. I don't know if that's the cold. Right now I think that my saving grace has been my family. That even though I have my differences with my family and I'm taking care of my mom, she's okay right now. She should be winding down. The support that emotionally that I have from my family is a blessing, right? Like, we may have our opinions with each other, may have our things with each other, but we're always willing to help each other. And we could more, but as a base level, it's very good. And I know a lot of people don't have that, right? We grew up with addiction too. We grew up with, my mom wasn't necessarily abusive or my dad wasn't abusive. They were hard. They were stern, old school. I don't blame my parents for any shortcomings I have. I learned a long time ago to take the best things, values that my parents, the best things they provided with me, which are great, and roll with those. And all their negative qualities, all their negative, I just ignored them. And I try to avoid them, even in my life. Right? Anger, again, the rat race. Like, both my parents are very successful, orientated people. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say like that I am in the same way. And that's been due again to a lot with my previous problems with addiction and again the narcissism. When you're by yourself and you're self-medicating and you're not social or regarding that, so the importance of social values, I wouldn't say it's a self-deceptive happiness, but you become so self-reliant that your values are not in tune with the rest of the world's values. And it's a false sense of confidence, right? To an extent, it's a false sense of accomplishment. Nice. Love it. On the lip right there, that little sweetness, which could be from the tea. Again, it could be from the tea, but man, excellent smoke, man. Excellent cigar. Cigar smoke, a cigar. A little stronger. Wouldn't give this to a beginner. I think what is going to be, I'm still going to continue to. I've always helped people, and I think that's one of the positive things I've taken from my mom and my dad. And my mom doesn't even remember all the stuff that she's helped people. Like, she was a social worker, she was a teacher's assistant, she was a nurse. She used to take in when we were kids. She used to take in foster children, right, for a certain amount of times, as well as kids that needed just a month, instead of going to a group home, they would stay with us until their parents or somebody, not their parents, but like somebody could claim them. So we always had like kids living with us when we were younger, right, that shared our home, that my mother opened up her home to. And she always helped people. She's helped sick people, homeless people. Even when she was older, she'd be able to do it. She helped like kids, terminally ill kids, and she had to get out of that. But she provided care to terminally ill children. So I think eventually that is going to be part of my life to an extent as well. And I think that's great. I think that's fine. We'll see. Things have been going the way they have been. And lately, I think because it's cold and I've been a little not as motivated, I haven't been reaching out or doing as much as I should be doing. I recently saw a good move. There was a guy on YouTube, and it shows you like why YouTube and the simulacra aren't as satisfying. Where somebody like the guy from Demolition Ranch, who's become a millionaire, big success on YouTube, had the biggest YouTube weapons channel, as well as a veterinary channel, as well as something else. He's quitting. He's made his money already. He's probably made millions off of it. And I was listening to him, and he realized that like his kids are young, and he's spending more time creating content, and he realized that, than he is with his children, right? And that's what I would do. I don't understand these rich people that continue to work, these movie stars that continue to have this ton of money and that are just still working, right? Like, if you've made enough money, spend time with, even if you're not with other kids, help some other kids, start an organization, keep doing what you're doing, but open up a fund where you're able to help other children, other people. And I think that's great to do. That philanthropy and spending your time is one of the most rewarding things you could do in life. Because you're literally, whether they acknowledge it or not, you could be changing and affecting people's life for the positive for the rest of their lives. Literally changing their future and providing for their future in their lives. And they're not even your children. I think that's great. I wish more people would do that. Yeah, so the Demolition Ranch guy is quitting so that he could spend time with his kid. He'll probably be back on YouTube, but I think that's smart. He's got enough money. What else is he going to do? He's done everything already, and he admits that. Like, creative-wise, how many guns can he shoot? How many, types of armor can he test? How many products can he test that related to gun shit? He's been on YouTube for like over 20 years, like close to 20 years since it started. He's done everything on YouTube that his sphere, that his skill set and his interests have done. He's at the end of that. He's at a new chapter where, damn it, yeah, go spend time with your kids. Like, if you still have young kids and you're on YouTube, like, I have a luxury that I don't have anybody. Right? I have a kid, but it's unrelated to me. Long time. It's probably 16 years old now. Nothing. Right? So If I did have it, I would spend more time, if I were involved with them, I would have more, or access to them. I would be more involved with my kids. And I think most people should be. Yeah, I got a lot of respect for that guy at Demolition Ranch because he's doing it right. Already lived great, already famous, made that YouTube money, got free shit, had fun doing he was fun. That's the other thing on these YouTube channels. I like the people that are having fun. They're doing instruction, but they're actually having fun doing it. Like I see a lot of people on YouTube, they don't seem like they're having fun doing what they're talking to you about. They're not enjoying it. That Demolition Ranch guy always laughed. He always had a smile on his face. Just always enjoying himself, right? And now he can enjoy himself in the real world. He finally realized, okay, everything in simulation is done for me at this point. He'll find something else, but he's now realized, okay, I've been successful at this at the detriment, at the sacrifice of my real life, of my children in my real life. What, did someone say something? Nope, no one said anything. And that's why, even though looking back, career-wise, why a couple things why I've been unsuccessful more recently is because I wanted to be my own boss, and not just be my own boss. I wanted to make others successful, and I got lucky. I helped a few other people be successful, and they were more successful through my business for themselves than I was. Right? But that's okay. Right? I feel happy that I've helped other people provide for themselves and then step away from what I'm doing to make themselves even more successful. I love that shit. I would like to continue that, but that's harder at this stage of life, in the financial situation that I'm at. That is difficult. And I think a lot of people find it difficult. Why, when I come into sort of not corporate, but a regular sort of job, 9-to-5 job, and I start to talk about the job, or hey, we should be doing this, or can't we do this, or why don't we have this? They're thinking I'm complaining, but no, I'm really just trying to enhance what they're doing, trying to enhance what us to make more money, right? And us to function more efficiently and better, and us to sort of gel better and just be more successful as a team, as a business. What the hell is that? Oh, that's a fire alarm. It's not working very well if I'm smoking a cigar in here and the garage fire alarm is not working. That's not good. You have to test that a little later, find out why I can see the green light and it's on, but it's not. If I'm able to smoke in here and it's not going off, that's not a very good smoke alarm. So we discovered something new. So when you're at the halfway point, just starting the halfway point, very smooth. Love the finish. A little sweetness, sweet green with a little oil. The finish is nice on this cigar. Rich, luscious. Has that it had almost chocolate mousse characteristic, little slight chocolate mousse characteristic to it. Not bad at all. And again, the algorithm here on YouTube, I'm getting 1 or 2 people coming in here and there. Nobody sticks around, and maybe it just isn't working for me. There's other stuff going on. I think I'm pegged someplace in YouTube where it's just not attracting people to me, or maybe what I'm talking about and what I'm doing is, and I've said that to people before, I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and why my channel isn't as big as it is, or bigger beyond the consistency is just me. Maybe I'm not interesting enough. Maybe my voice is annoying to people. Maybe my demeanor is not conducive to generating an audience, and that's okay. I can make some changes to that. or not. It's tough to make those changes. And a lot of some of it is YouTube. YouTube plays favorites, and that's okay. It's gonna favor people in their algorithm that are more active, have more subscribers, have more users. That's why I'm doing this. I have the time, right? Did what I needed to do today, and having a smoke. Having a smoke with you guys, people, having a cigar. What else? Mary, very nice. Very nice. But yeah, we all have limited time, of course, and there are things that you can do to improve your life, to be happier, because essentially that's the main thing we all want to be. You want success to be happy, right? If you want success to be successful, that's a whole different matter. David Combs, my opinion on Trump, and I also want to get into it, man. I'm tired of talking Trump. I'm tired of Trump, man. Unfortunately, Trump has a genuine impact on our lives. My mom's on Medicaid and Medicare. She's on Social Security, right? When Trump decides that he wants to cut that funding, it's going to hurt us. It's going to hurt my mom. Like, it's going to hurt senior citizens. So some of the things, my opinion on it is that Trump's doing a lot of things that is hurting America and hurting American people. And he doesn't give a shit. Because rich people they collect that Social Security. They collect that Social Security, believe me. You fuck with their Social Security, they're going to get pissed. Even Trump's people are going to get hurt with it, but they'll survive it. They don't, like my mom depends on Social Security, and it's not enough for her to survive. If we didn't supplement her meals, her rent, her life, she'd be fucked. And I feel sorry for people that are on Social Security that live on their own. And what about the people on Section 8 and housing that he's going to eliminate, right? And they're alone. They're going to end up, you could have a bunch of senior citizens that are homeless, right? There are real life consequences to Trump's policies. So everyone wants to talk about Trump. I'm tired of it, man. You people are already fucking around and finding out as a common thing right now of everyone's saying. They are finding out at the pump. They're finding out at the fucking, your prices have gone up since the stock market fell, right? The world is like not at ease. That everyone's had anxiety. Trump is somebody that lives with a lot of anxiety. That motherfucker is not happy. He's not a happy person. Look at his wife. Never laughs. His kids never laugh. Like, those are not happy people. Elon Musk, not a happy person. There's no self-reflection of those people at all. There's no humility. Like, power corrupts, and when you live off of the desire to power over others, you're going to die miserable. Trump is a miserable person. I'm not saying that as an opinion of how I see them, but I know that motherfucker. Well, but I don't know how they live. But he gets accomplishment and he gets his happiness through making others as miserable as him. Right. But yeah, right now I want to stay away. I've been staying away from the whole Trump thing because that motherfucker is just going to continue fucking shit up. And where it does have a real impact on people is we're going to be spending more money for the next 4 years. We're going to be spending more money, and we're going to be losing a lot of our personal privacy, our personal rights, our public rights, right? And we're losing a lot of our American freedoms. He's taking away. People don't realize that. Like, he's not patriotic. He's not about freedom. He's about freedom for him to make money and gain more power for him and his friends. What a nice draw. That finish on this cigar is fucking fabulous. But thanks for coming in, David Combs. I know David Combs. That sounds familiar. There was a David Combs at Envoy. There was a David Combs. Oh no, David was a skateboarder, I think. David, did you skate? Were you a skater? Yeah, from Wilson. What's up, David? I thought I recognized the name. Yeah, you're the painter. So you do something you love. That's super positive. Like your work, your objective and your goal has been rewarding because you love your creation, you love your craft, you take pride in it, and you go for it, right? Like you've been excelling in it and developing it, making a life for yourself with it, both in a career wise, but also in a personal sense. It's provided you a lot of growth, and hopefully you're happy. Hopefully you're getting married, having kids. You deserve to be happy, have a good family. You know, I wish all the best for you, you know? I'm glad you found me here on YouTube. Oh, I'm gonna need more tea. Yeah, I mean, like David's a great example of a young person. You're a good example of a young person that is continuing to grow and change their lives, right? That is continuing to look forward in life, right? And yes, your past is this, but you haven't had that anchor you. Like I think a lot of people, especially like at Wilson, were still anchored in something too much. That anchor, they haven't thrown out the cup per se, right? They haven't cleared their cup yet, and they haven't found those things that make them happy. And you have, and that's great. Not everyone can do that. I'm hoping that more people can. I wish more people could, right? I wish more people pursued their, you know, it's a life pleasure. Everyone says, like, if you find happiness in your work, everyone says, and that's true, because 80% of our lives are spent at work. 80% is found at work. So if you could actually love what you do for a living, that's a big win, a big win. And that's why it's okay to make a good career move. If you're serious about it, it's a good career move to, even right now, no matter what age you are, you could still like, hey, I'm not happy with my job. I want to do this. My friend did that. He was a computer programmer, made money for fucking years, and he's my age, and it's in his 50s. And when he was in his early 50s, in fact, a little bit in his late 40s, I should say, he still took time out of his life to become a veterinarian. Now he's a veterinarian. He started his veterinary career in his late 40s, right? Quit his computer job and is now a veterinarian. Changed his whole career because he was tired just being with the computer all the time. Now he helps families, he helps farmers, he helps people with their dogs, right? I broke, my cat ate my money. I'm broke, my cat ate my money. Hey, being broke, I'm broke. Being broke is all part state of mind. You need money, we do need money, but there's a lot you can do. Like when I didn't have money, you know what, a lot of things, activities, like right now with cigars, like I used to build shit. I used to build tables and furniture, do woodworking for my family or for other people. Like I found, you know, there's like, look around this garage. There's wood up here. There's shit to do. There's tools over here. I can make shit, you know? We twins. Yeah, we're twins, right? But being broke is a state of mind. They call them brokies. Look at Andrew Tate. He could say you're a brokey as much as one. I've never been in prison. I've never been accused of sexual assault, right? I've not been arrested, or I've been arrested a long time ago, right? Like a whole lifetime ago, but as an adult, never been arrested. All that money needs security, cameras, right? And you see how awkward they are when they go places and they can barely swim. They take a bike ride and they're barely able to ride their bikes because they never really rode their bikes. They never do stuff like that. I see that all the time when I was in California. You go to Huntington Beach and people that never, always made fun of skateboarders, always made fun of people on their bikes and surfing and being on the beach, like being a beach bum. What is the first thing they do when on vacation? Oh, let me try to skateboard. Let me try to surf. Do all these things they wouldn't do in their normal lives. And now they finally decide they want to do it. They go to California, go someplace, and they want to do it. Oh, let me go here and I've never hiked before. Let me go to this place and try to climb this fucking mountain. It's like, okay. And then they wonder why they break their ankles or get hurt, when they do it. It's like, you don't do that. You don't train to do it. You don't do it in your everyday life. And now you decide you want to do it. It's not that easy. I need more tea, but it's a little late to make it. It would to warm the water. I guess I can microwave the water and come out here. I can do that quickly in a minute. Take the phone with me and put something in the microwave. Take the phone with me, and I can still be live and not lose the connection. I just don't like putting the cigar out and going back for it, even if it's short term. When the cigar goes out and you relight them, it creates a bitterness. Like, especially out here where it's cold, the oils like start to bond into they start to bond to like the cigar in a way that the cigar tastes more smoky, and it just ruins somewhat of the flavors of the cigar when you let it go out. Very nice cigar. 8.5. Very refined. That finish, that pastoral finish that is smooth, the little sweetness. All right, there goes my tea. All in the finish, the cigar. The start it's so light, but the finish has all the notes. It has all the flavor in the finish. Excellent, excellent, excellent. In fact, let me go put this down. Let me go with and you just put the cigar down for a while. Let me go with the phone here in the microwave, make some tea so I can move around. I'm gonna go out of the garage here. I gotta check on my mom a little later too. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Oh, we're outdoors. We're in the dark. In the dark. Oh, there's a little light. Yeah, let me heat up some. Oh, it's nice to get warm in here too. Get a little warmth on me. We're going to heat some water up in the microwave. All right. So we'll get that going. I can't see the chat right now, but that's okay. We'll do the microwave. I don't like heating water in the microwave for my tea. I prefer to boil it for some reason. I just never like the microwave consistency. So give me a moment here. Here I go. Woo, man. Wish I could smoke indoors again. I miss that. Let me go take a pee-pee real quick. You guys are going to be not seeing me. Yeah, my hands are cold. Hands are cold. Cold ass hands still. It's cold out there. I have my tea ready here. My tea. Tea bag. I'm going to tea bag you. Let me tea bag you. Teabag. Get the teabag, you. You've been teabagged. How you like them? How you like that teabagging, huh? I'm gonna teabag you. You've been teabagged. Teabagging. Hopefully my cigar stays lit there. I don't know why it doesn't show the, nope, don't want to do that. I don't care about the highlight. I don't know why, I don't know why the chat doesn't show up on my phone. It shows up on my computer, but it's not showing up on my phone. I don't know why. Whoa, I don't want to. And now I can see the chat for some reason. So we're at an hour and a half. Probably have another 30 minutes, if that, on the cigar, and we'll quit our live chat. But we are smoking. I haven't talked any MMA, but we'll talk some MMA tomorrow. This is supposed to be a discussion on other stuff today. All right, my tea should be done here. 1 second. Love my tea. There we go. There we go. Put the tea in there. Boom. Put the tea bag in the cup. And go back to outdoors here. Welcome, Pow Patters. Whoa, stay there, cup. Stay there. Spilled some coffee earlier, and that was a big spill. That was a big spill. Whoa. I need to fix my light over here in my stairwell. Well, I don't know why the thing is floating. Give me a moment. Oh, hey. Back in the garage where it smells like cigars. You can smell the cigar. Let me reconnect. Teabag, get in there, teabag. Let me reconnect the phone where it needs to be. Let me see if I can restart my there. All right. Let me pour this tea, this hot water, into the cup. Lost a little bit there, but that's okay. Yeah, we got it. We got it, people. Boom. That's going to be some strong tea. Let's see the cigar if it's. Oh, it's out. It's out. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. So I'm going to relight it very similar to the way I lit it. I'm going to char sort of the outside a little bit, right? You do your ring, then the center. Mm-hmm. Just like that. Just like that. So easy to relight. And because it was just out for less than a minute, it doesn't have that adverse effect on the flavors at all. It doesn't affect the flavor at all because it wasn't sitting like, if this thing, people, dude, that's some serious cigar smoker. If they relit this, like they leave this cigar and they smoke it again tomorrow, and I remember old dudes that did that shit. Dude, not for me. Flavor wise, you're just smoking to smoke at that point. Like all the real flavors are gone. Like cigar's not intended to relight even an hour later. Like maximum time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's maximum. Even that is not sufficient with me. I'm not going to relight it. Right? Like, have enough time to smoke your cigar. Right? So you don't have to relight it. Let's see how hot this tea is. Let me see. No, I can feel it's too hot. It's too hot. Time to take off that band. The bad part about these bands is that because it's not hot, that the glues that they use, and let's see this one, sometimes are a little sticky, and this one's okay. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful band. I love cigar bands. And if you look at my About Better symbol, it's like looks like a cigar band. It wasn't intended as that, but that's what it worked out to be. Yeah, cool my tea a little bit so I could actually drink it. We're at the hour and a half mark with the cigar, and it could last another half hour. It could be a 2-hour cigar, which is great. Flavor 2 hours is a nice time to relax, be here with you people or with YouTube. But you know, goals are important. Like accomplishment can only be met by having goals, right? And that's interpersonal goals, whether if it's like, okay, I want to be better, have a better relationship with my girlfriend, better relationship with my family, better relationship with my friends, like that's important, or better, more successful. Like you have to set a little goal for yourself. And unfortunately, that I haven't been doing. Actually, you can see the tea, the smoke from the tea, huh? Yeah, you can see it. And I haven't set enough goals for myself. And again, it goes back to the narcissism. Narcissistic people do not have goals. They do not have goals, unfortunately. That's why they're narcissists. Because goals involve not just oneself, but goals, the best goals in life have other people involved in. You want to make more time with your family. The other part of being, like Demolition Ranch guy, that was his goal, is to have a better relationship with his children. People quitting the rat race, like, okay, they're retire or early retire, leave their corporate job to spend more time with their family or work on themselves. That's okay. It could be a detriment to their career, but as long as they have a certain goal, what they're wanting to accomplish in that time that they're away from their corporate job is good. Like goals are one of the ways to fight anxiety, to fight depression, to help with addiction. I know that, and I haven't always followed it myself. Again, a lot of times we do things, we're all what do they call it? We're our own enemies, like self-deception, as well as yeah. See, I don't like I think the tea tastes different. The water and a lot of people can disagree with me. I think the water that comes out of a microwave is not as good as boiled water that comes out of your tea kettle or just boiling your tea. The water doesn't taste the same. It's not as purified or something, because we're using just tap water, and I should be using bottled water, just like with coffee and even my tea. You use bottled water and it actually tastes better. It does with coffee. Try a different, do a taste test of regular tap water that you boil compared to a bottled water, and put them side by side. And I bet you're going to notice a difference between the two. And again, going back to self-medication, right? Self-medication is self-deceptive because you're not dealing with the things that may pain you, that are leading you to that addiction. And I did it for years, for decades, right? Been able to self-medicate, and it's just a self-deception. It's just as much of a simulation of in the real world of real life as being online and being happy online. It's the same. It's very similar, right? You can be in the real world and just going through the motions, right? And it just doesn't provide enough for you, right? Look at that. Look at the smoke. Yeah, let me put this back on here. I like that smoke coming up. cap on there. So my point is really not to look at me and what I'm doing, is to just incite you to self-reflect, to look at yourself and look at things and make changes, right? Or if you're happy, then you're happy. If you're happy, great, man. I wish I were happier. I'm happy now, and I do have depressive moments, but my lapse in between them is a lot, right? I'm not like depressed like constantly, or I'm infrequently depressed, or at least I could think that, it could have just been my self-medication, right? That I am depressed and I've just been self-medicating so much that you don't get to that point where you're acknowledging your own self, your pain. That's another thing that's great about the cigars, man. Big stress reliever. People working out is a good stress reliever, right? Going and get a workout because you're focused on certain things, you're working things out. It's good stress reliever. Going on a bike ride, good stress reliever. Going on a walk on a hike is a good stress reliever. Walking your dog, crocheting, sewing. Again, a hobby, making something. Again, if you're not an artist and you want to just color, grab a coloring book and color, right? And you're done. You see the piece, like, okay, go on to the next one, right? It makes it time, that time, idle time, making value, self-value, rewarding, making that alone time self-rewarding is positive, is good, right? That's a positive. Having that idle time where you're not involved in something creative that's not providing you intellectual and emotional sustenance, thus drugs, because that's what that does. It's self-deceptive and it's not healing, right? It's not good. It's not time well spent. And that's why substance abuse and poor mental health go hand in hand, right? And it leads to mental illness. Like most of the people that are on the streets that are homeless have, if they didn't have a lot of mental health issues or depression before, or just mental health issues before, they're going to have it once they're homeless. It's going to, as well as the drug use. When you're living already in a negative context, the drugs, and whether it's self-medicating, it probably is, because they're able to drunk and they don't remember anything. They're in a daze. And I think I've been in that daze quite a bit too, but a little clearer than other people. Or is that my narcissism, my attitude, thinking that everything's okay when you're high or drunk? It's self-deceptive. And the self-help, going back to the self-help here on YouTube, their interest is money. Most of those people genuinely, because you could find, if you don't have to go on live and with the people that are over there looking for self-help, the red pill people, or people trying to help you with dates and your love life. A lot of those people are just looking for your money. They have no genuine interest in your success and your happiness. And the people that do make the videos, and they're just there, right? They're actually people that are genuine psychologists and therapists that can help you, that are on YouTube that you can watch. Most of us don't watch that stuff though. Well, that's hot. It's hot. But that's part of the About Better channel. That part of my channel wasn't just for gambling. And that's why I had it About Better with an E. Not just the OR as being a gambler or better. It's about better, being about bettering yourself, bettering your activities, bettering your gambling, bettering your hobbies, bettering your performance, bettering your relationships, better life, bettering your community, bettering your children, right? That's important. If I had Elon Musk money, I would end homelessness. If I were him, I had that power where he's at right now, I would put all my money. I'd be like, you know what? Fuck you, Trump. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fucking, I played this game. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to help people with Social Security. I'm going to help people with Medicaid and their medicine. And then I'm going to help homeless people and people with addiction. I'm going to create a fucking, I'm going to invest in community centers. I'm going to, take my millions and I want to have 5 community centers or give money to community centers in various places, right? Or I want to create a programming school. I want to create an after-school program about programming and engineering. If I had the money, I would do that. If I were rich like them, that's what I would do. But does Musk do that? No. Does fucking Bill Gates do that? No. They don't do that shit. Right? They don't do that shit. You know why? Because they were never people that were about improving other people's lives from the get-go. That's never been, even their technology, everything that their success has been on the backs of other people, and they're not self-made. None of those people are self-made. Trump's not self-made. Elon Musk is not self-made. He comes from a very wealthy family. His father was an emerald guy, right? A wealthy billion-dollar mining family. Bezos from Amazon came from a wealthy family. His family gave him the money to start his business, right? Bill Gates, same thing. Bill Gates hired people to, thanks for the hearts. Whoever is in here, I appreciate that. Bill Gates, same thing. Those people's goal to have money was never to help society and make the world better. Especially Musk. That dude is talk about a narcissist. Bill Gates is not as much as a narcissist, but him and Trump, narcissists. They are narcissists. They think they're great. They're great people, and they're not. You hear that even with like Elon Musk is such a narcissist that he lies about his gaming ability. What kind of a person fucking lies about their online gaming ability? Like, what kind of a loser are you that you lie about? That's like surfers do that all the time, as well as even skateboarders. But surfers like, oh, I caught this wave. You should have seen it. It was fucking 20 foot. It was so good. You should have been here 20 minutes ago, man. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, I did this. I did that. They claim so much. And it's all a lie. It's all to make themselves feel better at your expense. You're their audience, and it's at your expense. And my hands are getting cold. That's why I know that those people aren't successful. I mean, even Elon Musk, he hates one of his kids. How much time does he have to spend with his kids? He's got and the other thing, just like Trump, Trump has 6 kids from 3 different mothers or 4? And Elon Musk has more than that. I think he's got 7 kids from 4 or 5 different fucking women. And they're talking about family values. Come on. And these are the people in charge of and trying to help our country. Fuck that. They're unqualified. They're not. They have no legitimacy. Right? Even in finances, I knew more about fucking crypto than Trump did a year ago. People have been in crypto for fucking 20 years. He just started it, right? And makes more money than all those people because he's ripping them off, making these fake coins. Hey, Thomas. No, it's not earthy. This is very smooth. This cigar has what I call it pastoral, and it's farm. And I love that quality. It has a very smooth pastoral green quality to it. So it's not super earthy. Really nice cigar. Yeah, and so see, Thomas is a good thing. Like Thomas, my nephew, he's in the chat right now. Even though he has I was talking to him about him earlier, that loves his job, really good at his job, but he has another goal. He wants to do more than just wrench and work on cars. He has a secondary objective in his life that he wants to accomplish, right? And we'll try to help him as much as possible, or at least encourage him. And in the future, maybe do more for him and assist him in any way I can. But that's important for any young person to do. You don't have to be stuck in the rat race in your simple 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5 can actually serve as a launching pad for you to do something else that can make you even happier or more successful, right? That's important. Like having, especially when you're young, that's when you have those opportunities to make drastic changes in your life and to accomplish more things, because you'd always go have time for more education, have time to establish a separate business or a separate goal, right? You can make new goals and you have the time to accomplish those. And we could do it later in life too. I don't always view myself as, and that's, again, maybe that's egotistical, my narcissism, where I don't view my life is completely over. I could get into that stage like, oh shit, I'm 54 years old. I don't have any money. I'm a loser. I could let that just overcome me and beat me up and use that as an excuse for anything. But I still feel like I could accomplish some things, or I could help others accomplish their dreams, right? And that in turn could help me be more successful, right? Helping other people be happier and successful, right? It just doesn't always have to be, at your age that you could still do other things. And I would say, looking at my past, my drinking, self-medicating, other things that have prevented me from making those changes. Because when you're in that narcissistic mode, you're not thinking of your future. You're not actually like looking forward to the future. You're just in the now, and that's it. And that's fine. I'd rather almost, and that's been my downfall of mine, has always been in the now. Ignoring the past because the past has too much negativity, and not dealing with those issues that were in the past can be helpful, but at some certain point you might have to address those things, right? So remember I was mentioning the plug? This is getting a little plugged up. It was there because it's going out right now as I'm puffing it. And that's what's great about these butane lighters, is that you could actually like puff on it as it's again, let me go around the ring. There we go. My hands are fucking cold. A lot of times cigars are meant for relaxation, not really self-reflection as much as, that's why I even don't mind talking about this, but cigars can be an escapism, just like drugs. You relax, and it's intended to be enjoyable and relaxing. That's why I love smoking them. Besides the flavors, I love the flavors, love the taste. But it's hard to feel, just like sex. hard to feel depressed when you're having sex. Hard to feel negative when you have pleasure. And eating good food, or laughing with your friends, or accomplishing a personal record. Like, it's hard to focus on something negative when you're enjoying yourself, or when you're calm and relaxed. So having those activities that provide that time for you is important. What's up, Joey? Joey isn't going to like this discussion because Joey needs a goal. Hopefully Joey pursues his police career continues to move on with something. Oh, Canelo. I don't know if that's real. If Canelo's smart, he takes that fight because he's going to get a big payday. Take the payday. You know, what it is, the Canelo clown match. No, I don't think it's a clown match. I think that what Canelo doesn't want to do is legitimate Jake Paul. And that's the only reason he's not taking that fight or doesn't want to take or didn't want to in the past is because he didn't want to legitimate Jake Paul. But who cares? You're in the prize fighting game. Jake Paul is a legitimate boxer. He's legit. You know, regardless of what people say, he's fighting. You see him. Yes, he's fighting old people and old MMA people, but he's legit. I don't know if it's real May 3rd. We'll see. I hope so. I hope that he is fighting someone that's actually a boxer. He's going to have a huge size advantage, right? But Canelo doesn't do. Remember, he lost when he fought not cruiserweight, but he fought the bigger fighter that's from Australia. That was his last loss. He lost that guy, and that guy's and Jake Paul's bigger than that dude. So it's a big risk. Yeah, Tom just says just showing up. Hey, there's nothing wrong showing up for the money because that's your job. You're a prize fighter. You are a prize fighter, and you have to think of your career. Losing Jake Paul, Canelo losing to Jake Paul doesn't end his career. Doesn't end his career. He beats Jake Paul, he gains nothing either. He has more to lose, but he only doesn't lose any credibility because is it going to be a 10-round, 15-round fight? Is Canelo's title going to be up for grabs? I don't know. But you're a prize fighter. That's what you do for money is fight. Why wouldn't you make it a red penny night? That's why everybody wanted to fight Conor. I don't know why people aren't dying to fight Jake Paul. And some people do. But Jake Paul's the one that's been avoiding people. Other people have called him out, other legit boxers, other fighters. Cruiserweight belt. Yeah. He lost last time to the cruiserweight. I thought that's the dude that he lost to. The Australian dude he lost to was at cruiserweight. And so he has a hard time with bigger fighters, and he's going to be the smaller guy. So it's a big risk for Canelo. Because Jake Paul is a good boxer. Like, the dude's been doing it now for like 10 years. Like, been training, and he trains. Legitimately been training every day. You don't see him making rap songs about Dana anymore and Conor. You don't see him making pranks. And you don't even see Jake Paul on those like his brother does, who also made a great career move, doing the WWE thing. Fucking incredible career move. Incredible career move. He's probably made more money off the WWE than he did it in his YouTube. Probably not. He was still, the YouTube thing for him made him fucking millions. But super good career move for him. And Jake Paul could be there in the future too. That's in his future as well, is to go into wrestling. Like, if he loses it to Canelo, what he should do is go to wrestling, and he can make a career there. If he loses, go to the WWE, make a new goal for yourself, and he will. And in the Paul's defense, they've made new goals for themselves. They started off at YouTube, then they got into boxing, right? And it made it successful. They changed their lives. Paul is plus 1,500. Oh, man, I mean, I might jump on that plus 1,500. If it's 10 rounds, it's going to be hard for Paul. He's going to gas. It's got to be, if it's a championship fight, it's got to be 10 or 12 rounds, more than likely 12 rounds. We're going to see. Shit, we're at the 2-hour mark, and the cigar is still puffing. Great construction. Yeah, Logan Paul's already there, but Jake Paul could go there too and make money and be successful in the WWE as well. Do the same thing his brother did. And then they could be a tag team together. They could have another 5 years just as making a lot of money, being popular, pairing with the WWE, and still do boxing stuff. And then the other thing that Jake Paul could still has a career is going into MMA. Right? Having a PFL fight against somebody that's a striker, right? He could still do that as well. So he's still got money to be made fighting. Good ass cigar. So yeah, I think if that happens, I think Canelo should take that bag, grab the money. Even though you got a lot to lose, how much he's probably demanding more, and he's gonna get pay-per-view points. He's probably demanding as much, if not more, for that fight. Ooh, Joey's asking if I'm still on Wei Li. Man, after looking at I see now why people like the line flipped. Because Tatiana looks fucking huge at on the embedded. She looks big, dude. The roids are pumping through that body right now. Her arms look big. Her legs aren't as strong, which I think is going to hurt her wrestling. But her arms and her mid body, she just looks big. She looks big. So I didn't place the bet with Wei Li, and I don't know if I'm going to do it because Tatiana looks like she's on that juice. They need to test that woman immediately. They need to test that bitch. Test that woman. And that's the other thing about Jake Paul and Canelo. And Canelo should be juicing right now too. Because they ain't going to test for Jake Paul, that Jake Paul fight. And Jake Paul, you know what he'll do? He'll make Canelo test. And he won't take the test himself. The way fucking Jake Paul does shit. He's like, no, I'll take the fight. If we test you, you don't test me. Because he's on the juice, right? If Canelo's smart, he should be on a cycle of juice right now so that when he gets to his next boxing match that's from the WBA or WBC or whatever, that it's able to get out of his system so he'll test negatively. But he better start juicing. He better be juicing right now for his recovery or for whatever. He should be taking some TRT. He should be taking some roids. Because fucking Jake Paul's on the roids. That motherfucker is roided up. And that's why he didn't want to take the challenge. Didn't Dana offer him $1 million and would send testers over there? He offered Jake Paul $1 million to take a drug test with USADA, and he didn't do it. He didn't want to do it. For $1 million, he didn't want to do it. I would take that. If you're clean, take the test, even or try to get take the test. He didn't want to do it. It isn't proof that he is on steroids, but that someone offered you $1 million to prove that you're not on steroids and you didn't take him up on it. He doesn't need the money, but it sort of it leads to the fact that he might be doing something wrong, that he is indeed cheating, and he is. They're not testing him. Dawson ain't fucking. That isn't like they're not doing drug tests for those matches. They're not drug testing at all. So I'm not on Wei Li as much right now. I like Jake Matthews. I like Croup because they're home, right? I like that the one guy, even though it's his first fight, he's still at home against Taguria. Something names, what his name is. Taguria's gonna have a harder time. He's coming into Australia. It's his first UFC. Pressure's on him because his brother's the champ, right? And the other guy's training. He's Volk's training partner. He's gonna have Volk in his corner. Both of them, first fight in the UFC, but one's at home, the other is not. And the other one has the pressure of his brother being, and he does train with his brother, right? And he trains his brother. But when in the UFC, it's rare that the brothers are as good as the champ. It's rare. Or the one that even the Basharat brothers, you look at just historically, the brothers, it's tough for them. Like it's just tough. But we'll see. I don't think that the Canelo thing is already baked. I would say it's half baked right now. I would say it's half baked. And if I know I look awkward, I'm putting my hands underneath my legs to warm them. I would say that he should grab that bag, though. Grab that bag, man. Canelo should fight him. Because as long as that check clears, that's a fight to take. Yeah, the second brother is always worse. Yeah, all the brothers, all of them. Like, what is the most successful brother team in MMA history? I mean, I should know this. But there have been a bunch of them. The one that was a cop, the guy's from Philadelphia, the cop that, and his brother, Gilbert Burns, the Burns brother. You see his younger brother is not as good. The Boscherats, right? The Pitbull brothers. Yeah. Those are the most successful, for sure. Both the Pitbull brothers have been champions. Those are the only two brothers that both of them are very successful. And that's it, the Pitbull brothers. Can't name any others. Those are definitely the most successful brothers in MMA. They've been successful, or boxing, right? In any combat sport. There's been some other, like in judo, some families, like there are a couple families that dominate judo. And I think Taekwondo as well, like in Olympian, more of an amateur setting. But yeah, the Pitbull brothers, for sure. Those are like, name any other brothers that have been as successful as the Pitbull brothers, and you won't be able to. There have been a ton of them that, like, look at Usman's brother. He sucks. Like, Usman's brother sucks, you know, and there have been other ones, right? The Tren twins. You know, I expect bad things for those Tren twins. Yeah, I think the safe thing for them, thankfully, hopefully they're not getting into drugs, right? The only drugs they're doing is the steroids, but as soon as one of them, just like Rich Piana, like if they get into drugs, man, that's it, they're over. And that happens to a lot of these people. It happens to a lot of YouTubers, it happens to a lot of successful people. People that are unsuccessful aren't the only people to become drug addicts. Look at Conor McGregor. In fact, a lot of successful people become drug addicts. They are drug addicts. Elon Musk is potentially a drug addict. He takes that ketamine or whatever, right? Look at all those podcasters, the comedians. They smoke weed, do mushrooms, right? Tons of it. And just because it's natural doesn't necessarily mean it's not a drug, right? It doesn't have the same health effects or negative health effects, but it still affects you mentally. But yeah, the Tren twins, it's too late for them to get into martial arts or fighting. They would get eaten alive, even in the amateur ranks. And they're not famous enough to get the big bag. You know, if anything, Jake Paul should have made more money bringing in fighting like that other guy who's a big weightlifter that's 200 pounds that always saying, "Oh, would you beat me in a street fight?" What's that guy's name, Joey? He's always asking MMA guys, "Hey, could you beat me in a street fight?" He's asking boxers too. Martin, or is it Martin? Whatever his name, whatever Martin. He's got the gym in LA with the porn stars and all the chicks. It's too late for him too. He trains a little bit, but it's not where he's going to be able to be competitive on the pro level as these guys, right? Yeah, Bradley Martin. He's always fucking challenging people. As big as he is, and as athletic, because he's very athletic, he'll get beat. He will get beat by somebody even smaller than him. Mighty Mouse would fuck him up. Sam Sulek. Yeah, he's all. Yeah, I wouldn't say Sam Sulek. Yeah, he's athletic. Martin's athletic though too. I think Bradley Martin might be physically more gifted than Sam Sulek. He's bigger. He's like what, 6'2". Sam Sulek is probably only like 6 foot, or if that, like maybe 5'11", 5'10". For me, athleticism, he's a good diver, but athleticism is different. Like if you're a genuine athlete, we're talking like Deion Sanders, fucking Jim Thorpe. You guys probably don't know who Jim Thorpe is. Bo Jackson. Fucking, who's the other football player? Wilt Chamberlain, basketball player, athletic. I mentioned Deion. Michael Jordan, athletic. You know, if you're a genuine athletic, you could be pro in multiple sports. And who else I was thinking of? It's another person that was genuinely athletic. The Paul brothers. Like, Jake Paul is athletic. His brother's super athletic. You know how hard it is to fucking do wrestling at the WWE level? You know how fucking hard that shit is? That's not fucking easy. I don't care if you're fake, you got to be an athlete. That's why a lot of those guys were athletes. They were football players. And they train. People don't think those wrestlers train. They train. They have to have those skills where they're not hurting themselves or other people. You know, the old wrestling's done. And they used to hurt each other back in the day. TV says he's looking for me. Shit, I'll throw my hot tea at his ass. People know where to find me. People know where to find me. They don't want to have any problems with me. You know, what does he want to do? Give me a sandwich? Give me a fucking bagel. All right? You want to look at me? Give me a fucking sunrise bagel. All right? Go give me my fucking bagel and shut the fuck up. You know? Yeah, athleticism is a gift. And besides athleticism, the charisma. That's why the Paul brothers are so successful. It's not just their athleticism. People like them. That's why he was on Disney. That's why they were successful YouTubers. People like them. People like, you know, and you think about like the Paul brothers, their rap skills. And on camera, they got good. They're all good. They've been on camera since they were little kids. They used to film themselves when they were little kids. And they had money. They didn't come from nothing. We're at the 2-hour 12 mark, which is good. No, my location, shit. You don't want to come here, my location. Are you crazy? You know? It's the last thing people want to do is come here. Yeah, this is the last thing. I don't worry about that stuff. I don't worry about, because I don't really have, I've not done anything really wrong to anybody. I'm not worried about someone coming to look for me. Challenging me. Why would someone want to challenge me? I'm a fucking old man. Even another old man. Like an old man that I would challenge, even though he's younger than me. I hate that dude. What's his fucking name? He does the MMA, and he's a fucking farce too. He's a fucking grifter. Jesse on Fire. Fucking hate that dude. Not funny, not interesting, not intelligent. Has a huge following because he likes talking about controversy. Likes creating controversy. He's an attention whore. And he trains because he wants to hurt people. Doesn't train for his own health. He's one of those people, he's a Karen. He wants to hurt an immigrant. He wants to get in a road rage situation where he's going to potentially try to beat somebody up. Somebody his own size. He ain't going to fuck with somebody bigger than him. Just like Wes Watson. They don't want that smoke. Obviously I want that smoke, but I don't really want it because there's no point in it. Avoid conflict everywhere. Oh man, this tea went gone fast. We're gonna be finishing up here anyways. Got people. Cigars at the nub. So smooth at the nub. He's smacking me. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. TD needs to do some self-reflection and improve his life. You know, worry about himself and his kid. He's got a lot of issues that he has to deal with. I'm the least of what his focus should be. That's the other thing about not being drunk is I don't have the anger at people that might have harmed me or did wrong or something. Yeah, that's all gone. I think the alcohol was spurring that on because you think, again, sometimes you go back and those emotions come out, the negative emotions come out and past, right? And the anger it increases with the alcohol and or the self-medication. Oh, dropped it. That was nasty. I fucked up the cigar. I hit the ground and there was a little salt and dirt on there. Already at the nub. Fucked it up. Nah, that's not bad. That's not good. All right. We're done with the smoke. No, I haven't been able to sleep still. And that's part of, it's a withdrawal symptom. They say it can happen. It could go on for like a month or two, but it is definitely a withdrawal symptom. Fortunately, I don't have the shakes. I don't have any seizures. Other than a cigarette, I haven't had like the desire to get drunk or have a drink lately, which is good. But the sleep definitely still occurring. Yeah, I agree, Joy. I've been wanting the sauna because I think it'd wear me down, right? Like not only release those toxins, but it tires you. You get out of there and you feel relieved, but it also like is physically taxing on you. And also getting those toxins out of your body helps you be more relaxed, right? That I still have a lot of the toxins from alcohol and from other shit. My food isn't that bad. I haven't been drinking soda lately too, which is good. I got like a bottle of Dr. Pepper that's been in my fridge now for like a couple weeks, and I haven't even been drinking soda, which is good. And I ate some cookies last night, so cookies are my vice right now. Eating cookies late night, which isn't very healthy, but especially before you go to bed, eating before you go to bed. But I'm eating late night because I'm up. I get hungry. Yeah, but I definitely want to go into the gym pretty much for the sauna, not necessarily for working out, but I just want to go in the sauna, stretch out, and I stretch out in the sauna. I don't care if people like look at me all weird. I'll do some stretching in there, and if they look at me all awkward and thinking, "Oh, you're supposed to just relax in your space," no, I'm doing what I'm doing. You know, we're in a shared space. If I want to fucking stretch out in the sauna, I'm going to do it. You know, even if I want to exercise, do some jumping jacks in there. I don't give a shit. I'm going to do it. But yeah, I would like to go in the sauna to help my sleep for sure. I still need to, like, I'm detoxing, but I still have, we're talking years of toxic shit in my body. It's going to take more. Like I'm only on like week 3, like day 26, day 27 or something like that. It's going to take more than a month to get, like it took me, I remember when I was with, when I tested for Envoy and did a drug test, it took me like 3 months to get the weed out of my system because I was smoking weed for fucking years, right? Like every day for fucking decades. So it took me literally 3 months to get that out of my system. So everything else in my system needs to get out, and a sauna would help. This winter hasn't been great because I'm not active. I'm not going out. I'm not doing a bike ride today. I don't even want to go. I can't run. It's hard for me to run because of my knees. I did do a couple walks here in the winter, and it's tough. I'm like, fuck, it's cold, and I'm walking out in the fucking freezing cold. What am I doing? You know you're a cigar smoker when you smoke the cigars like this, and you know you have experience smoking cigars when you get them like this. But I have to do it with my hand. I can't wear my glove. My hand's fucking getting super cold. So I'm going to do is switch hands. Let me switch hands. Let me switch hands here. Put my glove on, switch hands when it's warm. Red light therapy. I've never done the red light therapy, so I don't know what that is. I don't know what the red light therapy is, so I don't know what that is. So, but I'll try it. I forgot who had the red light therapy as well. Sugar's O'Malley, his coach had the red light therapy, red light bed or stand up thing in his house. He has that along with the sauna, and he had the cold pool that's always cold, like it's electrical and it pumps in water, like it's constant, like it's always cold. And he had the sauna. Yeah, I'd love to put a sauna in my yard. Love to do it. It's not my yard. That's why it's my brother's. But I would build a sauna there, no problem. Fucking build one of those saunas. If you're in the chat, please hit the like button. If you don't want to hit the like button, please subscribe. The cold plunge for my knees. Yeah, I do. My knees have been fine lately since I'm not doing that job. That hurt my knees. My knees are a lot better since I wasn't doing that job that I was doing last in the laboratory. In and out of the truck, climbing up in the ladder all the time. Yeah, every day my knee was fucked. My knee was fucked. That's it for this tea. That's almost it for this cigar. We're almost at the 2.5 hour mark. Yeah, that's it for the tea. If you made it this far, you are about better. I appreciate anybody that came into the stream. We're about to end the stream here. I'm going to go in, warm up, make some food, a little late dinner. Well, the pre-live is going to have to be, what time is the fight? Is it early or is it later? Very late. Because they had the fucking press conference at like 2 a.m. or something like that. And they had the weigh-ins. The weigh-ins are set for like 2 a.m. our time. I know it's ridiculous. 5, yeah, 5 starts at 5, great. So they're fighting like at an awkward time over there in Australia, I think. Good cigar, man. You could smoke it like this and it doesn't taste bitter. It's still smooth. Not the same as it was in the beginning, but a good cigar. 8 plus. 8.25, 8.25. Yeah, 8.25. That's the rating, 8.25. And a lot of it has to do with the cold. It's hard to fucking taste the cigar when you're over here and your hands are cold, and you know, it's just tough to really enjoy the cigar in that way, like for the flavors. Yeah, that's it for the cigar. Whew. And I got 5 people in now. I didn't have that many earlier, but hey, that's okay. I've been streaming for a little over 2 hours. I'm going to end the stream right now. I appreciate anybody that came in. Again, hopefully everything's really well with everyone. And if you made it this far, you are about better. Please hit up the subscribe button. I'm going to be going live again maybe tomorrow if I have the time to smoke another cigar. We'll discuss further MMA stuff. And then we're going to go live pre-fight. So we'll have Joey and some other people there. So thanks again, everybody. If you made it this far, you are about better. Ooh. Yeah, stop streaming.